I will read part of his resume. He is a partner at Reyes, Retana, Castro, and Rodriguez Abogados. He has been representing individuals and legal entities in complex domestic and international litigation and arbitration for the past 18 years. Prior to forming the firm, Mr. Reyes Retana practiced law as partner. God bless you. In the dispute resolution practice group of Baker McKenzie in Tijuana. Mr. Reyes Retana focuses his practice on civil, commercial, administrative, and constitutional litigation and international and domestic arbitration. He has litigation experience before the local and federal courts in Mexico, an arbitral tribunal order under ICC, ICDR, CAMCA, and Cámara Nacional de Comercio, which is Chamber of Commerce in Mexico City. He is part of the professional association and memberships in Asociación Nacional de Abogados de Empresa, which is the National Association of Entrepreneur Lawyers. Chapter Baja California. He has education. He has been educated in the University Iberoamericana del Noroeste, and he has different diplomas, one in foreign trade for the ITAM 1996, International Training in Scenarios Asia Pacific Center for the Resolution of International Business Disputes, Vancouver, Canada 1993, Diploma in International Commercial Arbitration in the Free School of Law in the Chamber of Commerce, International Chamber of Commerce in 1995. Arbitrating with Sovereigns, the Institute for Transnational Arbitration, Dallas 2001. Innovative Solutions for Uncommon Times, Overcoming Challenges to Effective International Arbitration, Baker McKenzie, New York 2003. And Diploma in Oral Litigation in Centro Universitario Tijuana, which is Tijuana University Center in Tijuana 2010. He's bilingual, Spanish and English, so he is our attorney in the HOA, if you would like to say so. Okay. So, if he talks, it's more expensive. If I can charge, I will talk. All right, so we'll wait the rest of the time and we will start with our meeting. I will start a slide presentation that we have for you, so that will be pass the time faster. So this is what we have been working with the supervisors of Las Villas. This is a presentation that I have been doing in the town hall meetings, and the last one is what we have been accomplishing. The last one of the town halls was in September, so from October to this early November, there are some things that we have done too. All right. Building of the 7 that was burned, right now it's underway. So I want to show you, this is the, once we clean the area of the fire, it was like this, like it, when we clean it looks like that. So it changed the view to a lot better view. Okay. Irrigation phase 2 personnel. We introduced more irrigation in the condos areas, so we are making it looks a lot more luxury, more beautiful, and saving water because the weather is well controlled. So this is another accomplishment that we have done. And this is the unit 27-4 ready to be delivered. This was another building that was burned before, and it's totally finished right now. Scope of the project, painting buildings. This is painting buildings 1, 3, and 5. Well, we have done several buildings. This is just the first one that we presented at the town hall. And in September, in the pool number 1 in the condos, when we have rain, we used to have a lot of mud in the pool after the rain because there was no retention wall around it. We constructed, you can see there, and right now, right there you can see that when we start to make it, and this is it, and here it was already finished. It goes around all the pool, so it is right now it's very well protected. We have some small rains, not heavy ones, but right now we have to clean the pool with all the dirt inside it after the rains. So this solves the problem, and additional it lowered our cost of maintenance because each time that it was filled with earth or mud, we have to clean it, we have to add chemicals, and that is adding. So right now we are a lot better in that. These are retaining walls that we are constructing around the complex. You can see that this is one of the biggest ones. It has a form like an H. It's a big one. From here, you can see that we dig a lot of earth out. And one of the good things that we get from here, all of these here, and this extends to the left of where this is, and to the other side. We took a lot of red dirt that was not going to be used, and we have the idea to take it out of there and put it in the road that comes from the Blue Gate all the way down to the pavilion. It ends just before the court. It's 6 inches deep, so it's going to last. It didn't have any cost because we take it out from there. And we save around $20,000 in that. We spent only $2,000 to make the trucks move it from there to the area we wanted, and we put it there over there. This is another building we paint, building number 11, which is right in the axis. Painted building number 6, so that makes 5 already. Yes? And do you remember going down by building 15, there was that big crack that was caused by the rains too. It was like that, and it stayed like that for a while because we were needing to buy the floor mats to make the stone figures. Finally, we closed them, and you can see right here, it's repaired. This is the process of doing it, and finally, it's solved. Right now, we have a little problem on the other side of this one, but like we have a form to work in that very soon. We'll get to know. Work tools. One of the things that we were having problem with our people there, productive people, they like to work hard, is that they didn't have many tools. Right now, we have power tools, hand tools that we have been acquiring, so they can make, we have a generator, we have ladders, and good thing is that right now they can achieve more in less time and make it faster and cheaper. And this is the last stretch of time from the September to now. There has been a need for parking spaces for a long time in the condos, especially when we have the weekends when the people is renting and a big crowd of people comes down. So right now we already built 3 parking spaces. And we are having project another 16. This will create a lot of solutions for problems that we have been having. Because right now we can tell the people you have to move out of your driveway, you don't have to park in the street. Now there are more spaces where you can park your cars. These spaces are for, some of them are for 2 cars, some of them are for 3 cars, but that will make, if we are talking about 16, then you can multiply. At least we have 32, at least. And you can see here that they are nice looking. They were in the process of making them. They were trying, and they are finished. That's the way they are going to look when they are finished. Right now we already made 3, and then will be 16 in the process. Next, yes? Okay.
I noticed that some of what you're talking about, the little driveways, are across from the big open lot where we have a lot of overflow parking. What's the reason for adding parking spaces? Usual.
Well, this was designed by the architect Montaño. We didn't, I just don't say, I need parking lots, I will make them here, here, or there. He is part of the architectural structure of the HOA. So he went space by space, building by building, looking at all the real necessities, because we have reports from security, many of them saying we have problems here, we have problems here, we have problems here. So he point marked them, and that's when we decide to make it. All right, next one please. That was at 35, this is the building 40. Ahead, please. And these are the sidewalks. Right now we know that the sidewalks have been deteriorated by water and rain and use. Right now we finished 1 and we have 4 more in planning for this year. This is the number 36 building. You can see that right here is the process, they are filling up, and this is the final product. So it's looking good, and we are going to make all the condos like they have to, resort look. Next please. We bought a concrete mixer, which is brand new. It's right, I can tell you that right now our maintenance people is very happy because they can achieve a lot. Certain times when we need, for example, for the parking lots, we order a load of cement truck because it's cheaper and we can make, for example, 3 almost at the same time. When we have some more work, we do this. So we are planning for big jobs or small jobs. And the final thing is to expend less, getting the most out of it. New furniture in Las Villas pool. I don't know if you have been lately at the pools, but this is how they look, and we don't have many of them. In the pool number 1, there was, I think, so 1 table and a couple of chairs. Right now, this is the look in pool number 1. We are not just working on that. We make the perimeter fence, as I told you, the retaining wall. Another thing that we are doing is we are painting the bathrooms, which were very smelly and not looking good. Right now, they are repainted. We repair the walls. And we are going to make more changes. Another thing that we did there is we are painting outside the building, looking all the small details. So if you go by the pools, you will like them. This is the way they are looking right now. Another thing is, you know that we have been charging the resort fee. And this fee is paid by the renters. At the same time, we want to give them a little bit back. When they come back, they will see that right now they have chairs, they have tables, they have chaise lounge, and they will be happy to pay the resort fee because they say, now I know where it goes. And the people who rent their condos will have more renting, and for sure, all the equipment that we are buying is for all the residents to enjoy. So this is the way I am projecting with my staff how we are going to do things, working for the benefit of the community. All right, next please. This is pool number 2. We have 2 palapas there. They are in need of changing the pump in the top and all of that, but we are working on that too. We will put new pump in the top. We will work on them to make them look good again, and we keep them because they're nice. And same thing, we added all the furniture, umbrellas, chairs, tables, and you can see the difference. Now, you can see the pool deck is not clean, it's like stained. What we are doing right now, we order a pressure machine gun to wash it. So we're going to wash it away. We have been doing that in EDR and it's working. So we bought another pressure gun. So we're going to clean the deck. We have a lot of plans for next year. So this is just a show of what we want to do. And I said in one of the town hall meetings around, I think so it was one in June, that I wanted to show first before speaking of plans. So this is it. Next please. This is building 7, how it was in the beginning when it was burnt. It's a video that we show you that it was clean. Right there. And now we are in the process of reconstructing it. It's looking good, it's on time. Right now they are starting to work on the 2nd floor. You can see here, right there, the next floor already being constructed. And I think so it's going to be finished by April of next year. So that's another project that we have in our hands and it's looking good. Yes?
Stand up.
So I'm thinking that these are the ones that are on our street, and because 3 of the 4 condos burnt, do we have firewalls between the condos?
Yeah, they are being constructed. The architect Lupita Martinez, she has all the specifications. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Yes, yes, for sure, yeah, they are working with pipes that are not giving any problem. Yeah. Now, all that small details, big details have been taken in account. Yeah. Yeah, she has been working with all that thing about the pipelines and all that, so she knows exactly what she wants to avoid, because in the end it's her work. So she had taken care of that. Yes. Next, please. Tenemos el organization chart. This is the organigram of both associations in one, because making the separation is really hard. But you can see here mainly at the top, it is how about others? It's administrator Jesus Olmos. Then it's my position, general manager, and we have 2 areas. One is the operation manager, the other one is the administrator and finance manager. Lalo Eduardo Garcia is the guy with the administration area, and he has technical committee, accounting manager, collections manager, which is Connie Estrada, which is right there. You can meet her. We contract Connie in July. So she has been working very hard in collecting, and we are good that we are collecting very well. We are very happy about that. Guest services, accounting supervisor, customer services, the supervisor, Socorro, and we have 2 people in customer service, TRC assistant, and accountant. And the operations manager, Ricardo Perez, who is in charge of all the operation, maintenance, security, supervisor in ADR maintenance, and Las Villas and La Ventana del Mar. Right now, I want to introduce to you to our new boss of security. We lost Nephi around 3 months or 4 months ago, and I don't like to fill positions just fast because I have an empty nest. We spent 3 months interviewing people until we found, I think, and my staff, 4 different people interviewing. And he has a very good professional experience. He has been working in hotels many years, so he has about safety and all kinds of are used in the hotel industry, and he has been working in security in the hotel, so he knows what his trade is. It's Julio Basaldua, who is in the back in light blue. Okay, this is the last one, and we are on time to make the third call. I take a little bit more of the time, but I think so this gives you a good idea of what we have been working on during this year. So now, okay, now in the third call, we have a quorum. The total number of owners is 174. Present owners 24 plus 23 developer, proxies 6. That makes total of 24 owners plus 6 proxies is 30. That makes 17.24%. Alrighty. Okay, the next point in the agenda is the assignment of the clerks. I will assign Mrs. Vicky Tennant and Carol Rulke. If you accept the position, we thank you very much. Right? Now the next point is to approve the November 6, 2015 ordinary assembly meeting agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda? Second? Those in favor? Discussion? Those in favor? Aye. Okay. Those not in favor? The motion carries on. The next point of the agenda is to approve the November 2014 ordinary assembly meeting minutes as registered in Mexicali and posted in HOA website at www.eldoradoranchhoa.com.ms. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda, please? Second? The minutes, sorry. Yeah, minutes. Any discussion? Those in favor? Not in favor? Okay. The motion carries on. Now I would like to introduce you to Recon Supervisory Committee members, who is Mrs. Marta Resek and Mr. Gary Lambert. I want to thank you guys for the hard work that they have been doing. I can tell you that all that has been achieved here is because they have been working with us very close, and they review everything in the monthly meetings we have. They work very hard. Okay. Right now, I want to ask the supervisors to preserve their committee report. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Was going to have Martha do this, but she's laid up with her arm, so we gave her a pass this year. Next year she has to do it. Is that fair? No. Okay. I want to just give you a brief report from the Supervisory Committee for Las Villas. Roberto will cover the budget in detail, so I have a couple comments about that, but I'm not going to go into the detail that I normally would have because of the things that he talks about, and also some of the things that we have done in the villas and also in La Ventana because it's a shared HOA, such as the dirt and the roads and some of that. He covered, I think, more than adequately in his presentation before we officially started the meeting. Now, if I can focus on that. I know that I had a couple of questions, or they were relayed to me about the budget. We had some decreases and some increases. I think the basic thing is the people who work here at the ranch, all the people who work at the ranch, from Roberto and his staff, and also but especially that we see every day, the security personnel, they haven't had a pay increase in over 5 years. And through our budget process, both EDR, La Ventana, and the villas were able this year, starting in 2016, to give them a 4% increase, which is a nice increase. It's not a lot based on what some of the salaries are, particularly the security personnel, and the fact that they haven't had anything in over 5 years. And we want to retain these employees. You know, it's hard to find good people here. And Roberto and his staff does an excellent job of selecting personnel, but to keep them with us, not only did we think it was appropriate that they get a small increase, but also the thing to do. Again, that was absorbed in our budget, so it didn't affect our operating budget as far as there's not a negative impact. We've reduced in the contracts that he'll go over in more detail. These have increased a little bit, and plus the evens, and we split the budget out. If you ever look at it, where it makes, at least makes a little bit more sense, because this EVA, the tax 16%, we show that in each category where it's appropriate. We don't pay an EVA tax on salaries, but we do on these other things. So, you know, if you see, well, this costs such and such, well, really, it costs a little bit more if it's a tax-based expense. We negotiated with La Ventana during the budget process. We make a contribution to La Ventana. They do a lot of the contracts for the security and a lot of work that goes on in the seaside community. And we contribute to those expenses. But we did a different formula this year, where we really just used a footprint instead of the allocation that they used to do. What this did was it reduced our contribution about $27,000 to La Ventana del Mar. Now, that's in the contract section, and although there's an increase there, that's due to the fact that I think for the most of you, I spoke extensively last year at the meeting I had at my condo, and also at the General Assembly meeting, about our CAM obligation, that we have a receivable. And again, if you were at the meeting yesterday, the developer more than adequately explained CAM, but we pay 15% management fee as part of our dues every month, and that's in our contract, so there's no question, you know, about CAM. We have never, that is Las Villas, has never paid CAM I don't know if they ever have. So we have a receivable there. This year, and part of this budget increase, is the first time that we're paying our full 15% of CAM. So we will not incur any more receivable, any more debt against our management fees. And I guess probably the only other point that I would want to make about the budget is we did all of these things from a budget perspective, and there's zero increase in dues this year. And that took a lot of work, both from with Martha and I, but particularly, probably most of you know Denise, and I don't believe Hans was here, the other two supervisors in La Ventana Del Mar. But it took a lot of work between the four of us to reach some of these budget consensuses and result in the outcome we have. So I really appreciate all the people that worked on this. Okay, a couple of highlights, and again, Roberto mentioned most of them or some. The pool now, again, as you know, has food and entertainment. Used to, I understand, years ago, so that's open again. The pavilion, the activities, 2 movie nights a week. I think last year was 1 night a week, so 2 nights a week now, plus the other activities. Juanita's is open. At least from, October to May or something like that. The tennis courts have been resurfaced. If you, over by the pool, if you haven't had the opportunity, go, if you play tennis, and then obviously you know. But if you don't, if you have the opportunity, you go around the tennis courts and the fencing and some of that, all that's been resurfaced and redone. And actually, it looks, well, it should, but it does look like a new facility, so it's a great asset there. The condo pools remain open, the security monitors during high usage. And what we did there is part of the resort fee. When we have renters in, or even owners, but with guests in, but there's a high usage of those 2 small pools. And there was a lot of problems of things going on and this and that shouldn't. So through the regard with our resort fee, we're able to have security there to monitor those 2 pools. And the complaints and the reports to security as a result of that have reduced dramatically. So we're really thrilled with that. And we continue to increase range security during high usage periods. We add extra security when we have some event on the weekend, or the Baja 250, or high overflow of people. We have 1 policeman or a police unit that's on the ranch periodically, both on El Dorado side and this side, that patrols at civic times when we need that. And the committee, also we've formed, I only mentioned this, I'll have a presentation a little bit later. We have a committee that is now focused on the water treatment plant replacement and the things, see what we can do about that. Any questions? No, not you. I'm working on one, only one.
One about the condos. I'm not quite sure what it is that security is doing, but my question is, the garage, after the renters leave, and it's been cleaned up, the garage doors are left open, the garbage cans are left on the street till Wednesday sometimes, and the lights, like on the porches, are left on. So who's taking care of that? Well, I know that I'm not responsible for calling property management, am I? That's the question.
Yes.
I actually reported it to, when I drove out, but nothing was done.
Okay. Okay, the thing is that the property management companies who are renting the condos or the houses, they have to take action on that. Ricardo Perez advised them. Sometimes they are fast at their response, sometimes they are not fast.
How does he know? How does Ricardo Perez
is the manager of all the HOA activities. He is right there in the back.
So I'm saying the light across the street on the porch has been on for weeks.
Yeah, but that's not our deal because they are inside. They are turned on inside. They do. They do. Sometimes the property management company doesn't pay attention to that, but we insist with them. We insist with them.
This is about the budget again, is that okay? I was just curious about the reserve figure for next year and if like there's plans, are there like anything going to reserve out of the dues each month or contributions to reserves?
We'll have reserves. Well, that's not a good statement. If we have any money left over, that's kind of this. No, we don't this year. Hopefully in future years we will. We use some of the previous reserves to balance the budget so that we wouldn't have any increase in dues. Okay, and I think the only other thing, and I know Roberto is going to cover it in the report, and he introduced Connie, our collections manager, on-site collections manager, but we've really stepped up our collection efforts on delinquent accounts, and that can and will be, I think, in the future, pretty substantial.
Okay, thank you very much, Gary. I think so. Okay, the circle around. Okay. The next point of our agenda is a nomination and election for one supervisory committee member for a 2-year term. All right. Those accepting nomination and willing to run for election must be deemed eligible by being current in all HOA dues and assessments. We'll take all the nominations at the microphone. Would anybody would like to make a nomination, please?
I think you can probably hear me. I don't want to walk over there. I'm going to nominate Gary again, and for obvious reasons. You just saw the report we got. He actually made a special trip out here from West Virginia to help develop the budget. So he's very good at this thing and done a great job. And I'm going to nominate him again, as I did last time, and I hope you vote for him.
Thank you very much. Are there any more nominations? Nominations again? No? Okay, I will suggest that we make the voting by the raise of hands because there's no more nominations, but there's not a big, large group, so we can do it easily. Would you like to say another words just to?
I will later on the presentation.
Perfect.
Except thank you. Yeah.
Perfect, okay. All right, so please, all that are in favor for the nomination of Gary, please raise your hands. Those not in favor? There is no discussion, so the nomination is approved. All right, congratulations. For another Okay, now I am come back downstairs. We're going to go for the approval of the budget. I will give you an introduction about the budget itself. Okay, you got by mail all the information on the first page of You can see that we have income general rules owners, paying owners, 173 owners, which makes... Sorry, I always forget. I am not a singer, sorry. Okay, annual dues owners, 173 owners paying. It's 614,496. Against the budget of 2015, you can see that we have growth in around $70,000. So we have more income coming planned into the 2016 budget. Annual collections that we have program are 21,312 and resort fee $5,000. In the expenses, we have in administration, insurance, 115,969. Even cost, well, like Gary explains before, this is a tax that goes to the government, it's a sales tax. We would like to keep it, but we have to pay it. The general maintenance is salaries, 25,701. Maintenance, 19,500. Materials, 7,700. Utilities, which is gas, electricity, gas, yes, for the jacuzzis, and water, it's 35,385, and the IVA again is $10,000.14. Pool emergency services. Salaries, we have 6 guys over there, which cost $24,359. Uniforms, $1,280, and the IVA again. Indirect costs, the contracts are $349,604, and the IVA is $32,428. Total expenses, $640,700. The total is the same. So this is the first page. This was sent to all of you, and you have the time to review in detail. Now, if you want to make a question, or if you want to go in detail in one of them, I will be happy to help you. Yes.
I see that for 2016, the reserve fee was down to 5,000 anticipated. What's
Yes.
happening?
Okay. Yes, Nikki is asking about resort fee. Resort fee, it was in 2015, 27,300. The budget for us just now is 5,000. Would you like to explain that?
Very good at this.
Okay, what we did, we give our resort fee, the villas generates most of the resort fees because we do most of the rental. The mountainside pool is used pretty much exclusively by the renters. They prefer to go over there. Now, they do use our pool, but they use the mountainside a great deal. And when you go in the pool over there, David or whoever's there, he takes a head count, and particularly the wristbands for the renters, he knows how many are coming in. So what EDR said to us was, to La Ventana, the whole seaside community, it costs X number of dollars to maintain this pool, but about, I think it was 27 or 29% of the pool usage, and that's annualized, because some months are less than others. But about 29% of that pool maintenance is a general result, or is attributable to renters on the seaside community. So as a result of that, we pay them part of that resort fee. I think it's 30 or 35,000. I'd have to look on their budget. Yeah, and actually, that's a little bit less than what the actual cost is. So, but we give them. We don't give them. We pay them that because of the pool usage and the maintenance and upkeep and security and all that. So it's legitimate. The other part was I think last year, La Ventana del Mar had 5,000 in resort fee, and we had 30,000. And this year, because we changed the formula and the shared cost of our contribution to La Ventana, and last year we were paying, can you scroll down to contracts? There we go. But it's not broken down. Last year we paid La Ventana, or this year will be 2015, 159,000.
159,000.
Yeah, 159. The year before, I think 171, 172,000, something like this. This year, 127, 137, something like that. 27,000 minus 159, whatever that is, 137. So we reduced our contribution substantially to La Ventana because we use a different formula now. We use a footprint in the Vizio. Because if you think of Las Villas, it's nothing more than a lot in La Ventana. So we do it on square meter, which results in less than 16% that we occupy the space versus 84, 85% of La Ventana. Well, they were facing a sufficient shortfall in budget at the last minute. So for this year, we gave them the 30,000 so they could meet their budget expectations, and we took the 5,000, but that was just for 2016. So that's where the money went.
Okay, I'm confused. Use the microphone, please.
Can-
For recording the meeting.
You gave 30,000 to the pool across the highway.
Correct.
And then another 30,000 to La Ventana.
Correct.
So, and that was all came out of the resort fee?
Correct.
So that's 60,000.
Well, we collect, was it 70-some thousand?
Oh, okay.
Between all, no, we don't collect villas. I guess we collect about 60.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So we gave them 30 or 35 or whatever it was, and we gave them 30.
Yeah.
And the 5 that's allocated to them from the resort fee, we took theirs so they wouldn't have such a deficit in their budget this year.
Okay, great. Now, I know I live close to pool number 2, and there's a young man that stays up there all day long, every day. And are we going to have enough money in that budget to pay these young men? And that's another question I have, that's not appropriate here. So,
You mean for our small pools?
For the small pools?
Yeah, that's all covered in the budget.
Okay.
We actually have 6 people. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's all covered in our budget.
Okay, great, thanks.
And again, with 0 increase.
Right here.
When you're doing a, hold it closer. Let me get it out. When you're doing a budget and you're looking at income, wouldn't it be more appropriate to put the actual income that you're receiving from the resort fee and then showing the expense going out, opposed to only a $5,000 revenue? Because I'm looking at 30,027 and then it drops to 5. And you just said you're paying that out, but down here, it just doesn't seem like it's very clear to me.
Okay, we can,
Because you're making a significant drop in your revenue and you're not showing, you're really bringing in that revenue and spending it somewhere else. So it should be charted as showing it as revenue and then your expense.
yeah, we bring, that's correct. But La Ventana and Las Villas brings in revenue, and then we decide who brought in what percentage of what, and then we allocate it out. So we don't show it as income coming in until we actually do the budget.
Yes.
Total.
different condos?
Yeah.
And we have about 180 paid members. So we're responsible for all the different fees on those condos also.
No, we only have 217 condos and only, what, 179 turnovers? Yeah, 300, we will have 300 condos hopefully at some point in time. That's what the project is designed for, but we do not have 300 condos.
Okay, so, but any maintenance costs that come up with those other 83 or so forth, you take care of that.
Yes. Yeah. The thing is that, for example, in all the areas that are not constructed, they are not gardens, they are not nothing that we are investing money in. We are not making their parking lots, we are not making their anything that is added cost to the maintenance fees. The thing is that the difference between the 179 and the total number of residents, there is a number that they are not paying because for any reason, but not the ones that are not constructed. We are not doing nothing in the non-constructed area because we don't want to rise the expenses. In the other hand,
Yeah. How many unconstructed ones do we have?
¿cuántos, ingeniero Velarde, sabe cuántos fondos están sin construir? Pat, do you know how many condos are not finished? 61. They are not finished.
And we have plans to finish those. Okay,
Hi, I'm Charlotte Hart. What happened to the gentleman who a few meetings ago said he was going to start a sales thing and he knew how to sell the condos and get them going, and nothing's happened?
Well, that's the developer side. I am not in that area, I really don't know. But I know that Park has his marketing strategy on that. He will start as soon as he can with that. I really don't know about that certainly.
Well, so is he coming back? Do you know Jim Burns is?
I don't know. Pat, there's a question if Jim Burns is coming back.
Good job, good job. Yeah, Jim Burns, he was he's still working on the project. He was trying to do an internet-based realtor referral program, and he was using Infusionsoft software, and he spent a lot of time on it, and he's had some challenges with the Infusionware software, so he's trying to rectify that. Anyway, while he was here, his wife Julie, in the midst of the hot summer, she wasn't feeling real well, so she went back to Oregon and to, kind of see doctors and see what was going on with her. And then he went up there to follow her about a month, 30 days later. But I'm in regular communication with him. They do have plans to come back down, and he still wants to launch his program. We're in the midst of trying to finalize a financial deal with two different groups, and once we do, we anticipate to relaunch all of our marketing. There's enough money in what we're trying to put together to get all of this back underway and all of that. So I think, in parallel with what we're doing, which we should have finished by the end of the year, then Jim and Julie will be back here and resume their whole marketing program.
All right. Any other question about the budget? Okay.
One more question.
Yes, sir.
The number of condos that are down in unfinished area, there's no landscape, that, how are those counted in this? Are they consistent? Because we don't get any HOA services as far as, maintenance or anything like that, sort of. When you talk about areas that don't get maintenance.
I didn't see where.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. So the condos in the unfinished area right now, they're not getting any HOA maintenance, there's no landscape and all that. How are those counted as far as the owners and how do you account for those?
I don't very well understand the question.
I'm one of those. In case you don't know, come on down. We pay our full HOA fees. And they're counted as any other finished unit. Because they are finished, we just don't have the streets, the lighting, the driveways, the sidewalks, the landscaping. Pardon?
You live in it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you had unfinished ones.
Well, I think you meant the unfinished roads and all that would lead to a maintenance cost to maintain. No.
Hello? I have a question here on the maintenance thing, and I am a corner association person, we own a condo, and we always have the problem of leaky roofs. All the bedroom roofs are leaking, and we just come here twice a year, because we come from California, and we are so busy, and we like to come here more, but whenever we come, we always, our plan is to come and enjoy a little bit. But we always come here and do some maintenance. There's always a problem in the property that we own. And we just opened the garage door this morning, and my husband turned on the main source of water. I think somebody stole the spot on the outside in the front of our property, and the water just shut off, just run off like a river. And we didn't even have the chance to get inside. I'm just hoping that there's no water in the beds and all the rooms in there because of the leaky roofs. And we did a request, before, that was in May when we were here. And they were saying that we were in the list of, I don't know how many hundreds of people has a problem with leaky roofs. And do you have any, we pay our dues sometimes. And do you guys have any money for that? Counted for our part of the maintenance of leaky roof? Or have you done to whoever installed the roof on those condos?
Yes.
Have you notified them that they should do the repair? We are paid because that's their job, lousy job.
Well, we have a list of roof repairments that we are doing. If you are not in that list, you have to talk with Ricardo in the back, Ricardo Perez. He will put you in the list and they will go and check.
Well, we've already been in the list, but they said that we are in the number, I don't know how many hundreds or how many. And that,
Well, I can tell you that we are working, we have a schedule of work, and we are on time. We do more or less a roof each 2 weeks. We finish with that.
Well,
So we have been working in the list, and we have been complying. We are not behind. And I would like to see where you're located, but each name has been added as the people has come to us. Sorry, and we added into the list.
I know, but we're thinking of, if you say leaky roof, it's not just a little leak in here.
I can tell you that.
I think it rained. I don't know when it rained in here, but I heard in the news before, and I was not afraid to bad that there won't be any flood in my property. And while you might not believe it, but I would invite you to come inside so you can look at it yourself.
Ricardo will be very happy to go with you and check on
We
that.
also sent a request to Mr. Butler and the work on the online.
And we have to wait for 1 year.
Yeah, they said 2016. Who can wait for 1 year for a leaky roof?
Well, I can tell you that there has, let me answer. You have been making like many questions. Let me start answering them. First of all, we are working in all the roofs. The roofs that we have repaired, The majority, I can say 95%, we haven't had to get back to redo them. Some of them have a second leaking, which can be, because it depends on the amount of water that comes. It can be, like you say, a flood or just sprinkle. It depends. So sometimes they don't show up. We have been fixing them. I don't know which property is yours, but if you give the number again to Ricardo, who is right here, we can check it out. And we will send our guy, who is the specialist on that, to go inside. Right now, what we are doing is we are just not checking this one. What we are doing is, if there is one here, we take all the time in that area and check everything. And we put everything that is necessary there. So my idea of making the job is not just patching here and getting back later in the next rain. What I like to do is do it once and do it. And that's the way that we have been doing it. I can tell you about the waiting list. I can do nothing there because if I move the people at range, I will have everybody screaming at us because saying, you know, I gave my name 1 year ago, like you say, or now a guy can just come in and say it's at the top of the list. That we cannot do. But we can review your situation, how it is, and we will take notice. And when the time comes for us to go into the building, we'll fix it for once.
Yeah, I understand. But the problem is you don't want your property to...
Please put the microphone closer.
You don't want the property to have all the leaks and it will be all wet inside. That's, that's my part. That's the concern. I think if you have to kind of prioritize also how bad is that. Maybe some are just a little stain on the thing and the rest are just pulling like rain inside. I think you should kind of prioritize the serious.
Exactly, that's what I say. If you go to Ricardo and talk with him, we'll send somebody to look specifically at your problem.
Okay,
and then we can determine if it is a norm for what we consider a normal thing or not. So if it is a normal thing, we'll have to go the steps. If it is an extra thing that is not normal, what we call normal.
Right, I understand.
In between parentheses. When we start the list, there were only 10 names. Right now we have more and more and more. But we are fixing them and we are cleaning them up. Right now, the good thing is that the list that is done is bigger than the one is to be done. And I love that. All right. Another question? No more. All right. Okay. Next step is... Now we are going to go for the approval of the budget. Do I have a motion to approve the budget as presented? Okay, second? Any other discussion or comments? Okay, then we'll go for the vote. Those in favor, show your raised hands, please. Those not in favor? So the motion carries. Very well. Thank you very much. The budget is approved. Okay, the next point in the agenda is review and rectify proposed golf course assessment of $469 per year for a period of 2 years. I will request Mrs. Denise Lavin to come into the front and make the presentation with Ingeniero Velarde and Ignacio Martinez.
Okay, now we're on. Ready? Okay, I've been asked to do the report as the secretary for the golf committee. We have other members, which is Las Villas owner Emerson Ross, EDR member Daryl Grant, Las Villas member Sharon Moscone. Wait for us, thank you. Jeff Williams from La Ventana, and I'm from La Ventana, by the way, and Michael Schwartz from Las Villas. Okay, Las Perlas de Mexico golf course asset originally cost was $10 million to build the golf course. The special assessment for golf was implemented to preserve the $10 million asset and to also help with preserving our property values of both the homes and the condos, and probably the condos. Most of you are right near the golf course. In 2012, there was a special assessment that was decided upon and voted upon for a 2-year assessment for La Ventana and Las Villas in the amount of $469. Again, in 2014, that special assessment was voted upon and for another 24 months. Now, in 2016, we're again here asking you to vote for that special assessment. Historically, the special assessment was suggested by La Ventana and Las Villas owners due to the financial suffering that the developer went through, and I know a lot of us went through it as well, so, you know, we understand that. And that was in 2008 to 2009 when the recession hit. And people that live here decided to approach Pat and ask for a special assessment so that we could maintain the golf course. Now I'm going to turn this part of the presentation over to Jesus Velarde, who is our engineer here at El Dorado Ranch.
Hi, good afternoon. Ignacio Martinez is the superintendent of golf. He is not here because he is sick. He has some pain in his palm, right? So he can't be here, but I will try to explain you the before and the after of the golf course without the assessment and now with the assessment. I will show you this. This is a visual report. We try to show you the after and before of the golf course. This is a recent picture. It's the hole number 14. You can see the green is good. We have good level in legs. We have everything good. The comparison with that picture is 2012. We can see some areas doesn't have enough irrigation. The greens are not complete. This is another example of this more critical visual. The hole number 9, you can see the grass is very damaged in that picture. This is a very recent picture. We only have a small damage here, but it's not a big deal. Other example, more critical is the hole number 16. This hole is together the sea and together the condos. You can see with no irrigation, no fertilizers, no good equipment to make the cuts before the assessment. We have a very bad condition of the golf course. Right now you can see the difference. This is more pictures of different parts of the golf course. It's the same, a fairway without grass, dry, no water, indifferent here. You can see very good shape. In the past years also we have some storms that damage the course, damage the arroyos. And we do the work to regrass the area, to maintain the road, the reserves, and that's part of the job we're doing with the assessment. Okay, this will be the tier 2-year renewal of the agreement with the developer, as Denise says right now. We have an agreement to put the maintenance of the golf course half and half of the developer and the residents. The cost to maintain right now the golf course is $750,000 per year. This is good enough, but it's not the best amount of money we need to maintain a golf course. Normally it's $1 million or maybe more. Thinking we are here in the desert. You know, the desert is more difficult to have the water, do the irrigation, and the summers are very hot. So to do the maintenance with that amount of money is a big deal. just some comment. The HOA is not responsible for any shortfall. What does mean? If the residents' assessment is not enough collected, the developer needs to pay the difference. And you will see in the next page the reality of this. Okay? This is the historical contribution of the assessment. You can see in 2012, for example, we have 40% of the amount. The developer has to pay the 62% of the amount of the maintenance of the golf course. And in fact, we didn't arrive to the correct number. We have $743,000. So the goal is $750,000. And in the years, we never arrived to that. We make an average of all the years. The percentage we collect from the residents is 39%. So the developer needs to pay the rest. Next year we are planning to do the maintenance in the same amount of money. We will show you here the more significant costs we use for the maintenance. You can see the payroll is the 30% of the amount of the budget in the year. Only the payroll to pay the guys who are working, the manager, and that's a big amount of money. Other expenses is the pump and water electricity. To meet the irrigation of the golf course, we have wells in the mountainside. So we need to pay maintenance, we need to pay electricity, we need to have a guy checking every day the wells. When we have a problem, we need to bring a contractor from Ensenada, from Luis, from Mexicali to fix the problem. We have a lack of water since years, and we need to do it very fast. And so that costs money to us. Other things we spend money is the pump station electric. Here in the golf course we have a pump station. We maintain it, we pay electric, we have a guy checking every day, and it's a cost we have all the time. Other thing is the fertilizers. We show you here $40,000, but it's not enough to buy fertilizers. A good amount of fertilizers per year for sure should be $90,000-$80,000, but we are managing to do the best with the money we have. Okay, during the 4 years of the assessment, we were working with five wells, but in the last year we have a problem with another well, the one number 7. That well was the half of the total water we need to make the irrigation of the golf course. We have a technical problem there and the well collapsed. I will show you here the problem we have. The well started working in November 2007. We detected the problem, or we determined that the well was broken in July 2004. This is a typical construction of a well. The well, what is the well? It's a pipe that goes on the ground. We have water in some point of the drilling. We have cuts in the pipe. The pipe goes around and we pump with equipment. In the beginning of the well, we have the level of the water 130 meters, and the depth of the well was 250. But with the time, with the pass of the years, we've been losing the amount of water we have in the well. Right now, in July last year, we only have 30 meters to make the pumping of the water, which is okay. If we have 30 meters, we can extract it. But for the condition of the well that is corroded, the water is coming with sand. It's coming with sand, the pipes stop, the motor grow, the piping, the pump can pump in sand is designed to pump on the water with a problem. Why is this happening? Because at the beginning of the construction, we are planning to have only 7 to 10 liters per second and a temperature of 33, 35 Celsius. When we start to work the well, the temperature was 86, 75 in that range, but is hot water, but is the casing of the well is normal steel. So the combination of the steel, the temperature, and also the salinity in the water, we have 4,000 parts per million in the water. That made the casing corroded and broke. So we lose the tip of the well, and right now we can use it. We bring 3 different contractors, one of them from USA, 2 from Mexico, and all day saying, you need to drill your well because this will not work. So to do that, the developer needs to pay $250,000 to drill a new well. So it's amount of money we can do with assessment, we can do only with developer money. And finally, I want to show you this. This is an example how the water is coming. We have well number 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, and HOA. All the water is collected from the wells and is coming to the lakes in the golf course. In the past, we have collecting water from the wells number 7, but that happened. What happened? The well collapsed. We don't have enough water. Right now, we're making the relation in summer with 7,000 and 50,000 gallons per day. Normally, in summer, we need to use 1 million or 1.2 million in summer. So we can do it with that. We are managing the water. We are taking a little water of the city. And normally, the lakes are in a very low level because we don't have enough water to have the levels in the chain. And well, that's the presentation we like to show you. Any questions you have, I will pass the list to make another comment after if you have any questions.
Was the temperature you said in Celsius?
Celsius, 62.
So what is that in Fahrenheit? 152 degrees. Okay, we have one more thing and then we'll take questions. Jesus will be here to answer, don't worry. Okay, as before, there are 2 categories of golf passes. The category A is the owner pays the full value of $469, and it has to be paid before you're issued the pass. The owner keeps his pass. He has 311 swipes, and they're limited to 4 swipes per day. The swipes can be used for a round of golf. They can be used on the driving range, either way. Category B, the owner again must pay the full $469, and then they can transfer it or sell it. And whatever they sell that for, that's up to them. But when it's sold, the pass then is issued only in the name of the one person that bought it. And that person only can use the pass for 1 round of 18 holes of golf per day. Now, we do have a pool here at El Dorado, and the golf passes that are sold here, we ask the full $469. We haven't sold many of them, but that's what we do ask. Okay. The passes, whether you're an owner or you've purchased it from an owner, are not to be utilized for any special events or golf tournaments. They are only for regular golf play. Okay, now we'll take questions.
Now, I have a question for the engineer. In the past few years, since the assessment, the golf courses are looking much better. But there's one problem that really needs to be addressed is the erosion from irrigation. Erosion gets worse and worse every year, right down near the end of the tube. And erosion near the fairways and some of the greens, where there's a slope, the irrigation is really causing a lot more erosion, and it needs to be addressed.
Yes, you know when the irrigation is done in the golf course, we have a spring that's very, very high. He's making a lot of pressure. In the recent time, we are changing. Some areas are not making irrigation with that sprinkler. We are using another hoses with a little, it's like a leak irrigation. We are implementing that since last year, and we are continuing with that work. Right now, if you go, when you have I don't know English, Spanish, but I guess you say, we have the people using that implement. It's a hose with a giratory implement that is only leaking the area. And also, that helps us to save water because it doesn't have enough consumption of water. So the people on the maintenance board is taking care of that. But it's a good comment. I will pass it in Ignacio. I hope next year you will see a better work.
I have a question about the money that comes off of the golf course for people playing, not the ones who have passes, but do we know how much is collected from people coming to play who pay?
Yes, we have a monthly report of that is in the golf minutes. We don't put the actual dollar amount, but we list how many rounds of golf were complimentary rounds, how many rounds were from golf passes, and how many were paid.
And the people who pay, how much do they pay?
You know, I have a pass, I don't know what it costs. What does it cost to play golf?
35 on some days, 45 on others.
Thank you. It's 35 on some days and 45 on others.
And where does that money go?
That goes to Mr. Butler's corporation. He owns the golf course, so it
goes to help with the maintenance.
Yes. We have two different departments in the golf course. One is the maintenance department, and the other is the pro shop department. Maintenance department is maintenance of the golf course, well, the payroll, the guys. The pro shop department maintains the cars, the payroll, the people here in the pro shop, and expenses like that.
When people do play, even if they have a pass, don't they pay something for the golf carts?
Yes, they pay $10 for the golf carts, and that goes back into the money to help maintain the carts, because our golf assessment does not pay for maintenance of carts.
And is that enough money for maintenance of the carts, or do you have to add a lot in there?
It's not enough. No. Every month at the golf committee meeting, we look at that because it's a concern.
Okay, thank you.
Carlos.
What's the reason that you don't monetize the freebies and the paying customers? And you said you do numbers, but you don't monetize it.
The company has that amount, but we don't put it in the golf minutes. We just put the number of people that played. That's all we do.
I got that, and that kind of mask was really going on. They just had the numbers, quantity of people, as opposed to the dollar flow.
Well, the dollar flow goes to Mr. Butler's company. It doesn't go to the HOA, so that's his business. We publicize how many rounds were free.
I just had a question about the well, number 7. Did you say that was salt water?
Yes.
Why, how is that drawing, how are the other wells salt water also? Or is that the only one? And
Okay.
where is it?
Carlos.
To be a salt water. Can you repeat?
The question is why there is salt water in the wells, and if the other wells are salted water too. That's what's the question.
All the water have salt water. It's not like the sea. The sea has 24,000 parts per million of salt. The water of the different wells we have from 2,500 until 10,000. But the grass support until 12,000 parts per million of salt. So we are in that range to meet the relation with salt.
Yes.
Since most of the people vote for this because of the initial investment, and we kind of want to maintain the initial investment, it almost seems like this is going to be a given, regardless if Pat gets in money or not, because there's always some place where the money needs to go. So my question is, how could we generate more income, either instead of this or in addition to this? Because I don't play golf, I don't know what it costs to rent a golf cart, but $10 is pretty cheap. And if that doesn't do the maintenance, then people that are coming up that want to rent it could certainly pay more than that. That's one question. The other question is, we have charity functions out, when you put out, there's an expression, I don't want to say the bad one. Why? I mean, we just had a charity event, and I know that there's a million charities that are deserving, but what's more deserving than a golf course that if we had to take it out, would pretty much lose everybody's value in the entire resort area?
Part of what happens when you have a charity golf event, the players come in the day before, and they all want to play the course because they've not played it or they haven't played it in a while. So it does generate income. And I know as a committee, we are looking at ways to get more tournaments that are generating money back to, the golf course. But we've been looking at this for a couple of years, and there's a lot involved in it.
Okay, so I wasn't just talking about the charity golf tournaments. When we had the Blues Festival, they gave out money. We did use this whole area. There could be other events, and that's what I'm saying. There could be a committee of
can't
events.
have a charity event or a profit organization. We're for profit.
The Blues Festival? Is that
No, I'm talking about, if you're asking about doing something for our golf course, this is a company. You see what I'm saying? It would be like if you owned a gas station, you said, hey, I'm gonna have a charity event so that I can make more money at my gas station. You're a profit company. You can't, even if you're not making any profits, you can't have a charity function for a profit. You see what, there's a legal.
Just a comment that Jesus was telling me, and I do know this from where I lived up in Northern California, that most golf courses are put in not necessarily to make money. If they're in a home area, they are there to increase the value. And most of them, unless they have, I forget how many, 2,000 rounds? Or no, we have about 2,000. How many do they have? Got 20,000 rounds? Something like that. It's a large number of rounds before you start making money. 20,000 rounds, thank you. I couldn't remember.
I just have a question about what the process is to put our pass into the pool, because we don't live here, and I get the bill, and I send in my payment, and I don't know what to do from there to make sure my pass gets into the pool.
You go see Socorro or email the HOA, and she will take care of it. Right over there.
It's worthless.
Are you super?
Okay, I have a question. Because my husband and I own both a lot and a condo, we were at the previous meeting, and there was discussion about having the assessments be debited back against the CAM that is owed, and I would wonder why we can't arrange to do that with the golf assessments, and I think, as everybody's noted here, that's going to be an ongoing charge. Also, I just like, before I go any further, I want to say no one is questioning the dedication or work ethic or ability of the maintenance people and the engineers, and we appreciate what they've done. It's an issue of how the money is being collected, how it's being spent, and how it's being charged. So this is not personal to the staff, please. But the other issue is, what about this golf committee? Are the meetings open? Because I pay two, actually, assessments, can I go anytime?
Generally, they are not open because we try to limit them in time and we come in and do our business. But if you are interested and you have a topic you'd like to bring up, you can email Roberto and we can get you on the agenda.
I don't think that that's sufficient. I think that anyone that's here should be able to go at least once a quarter to these meetings and attend because they pay the assessment.
We'll take that up for discussion. We can take that up for discussion in our next meeting.
At the next closed meeting, thank you very much.
Well, it's the next meeting, I'm sorry.
Yesterday at the meeting, Pat mentioned the number of rounds on average of golf that we currently have versus the number of rounds that we would need to break even. Could you repeat that again, please?
Yeah,
Run.
We have right now about 6,000 rounds a year. For a golf course to break even, they need about 20,000 rounds.
So that's an idea of the kind of gap that we're looking at here.
Yeah, so actually, I mean, Denise serves as a supervisor and on the golf committee and a number of other committees, and is very dedicated, and she's got a very deep background in HOA management and has been president of a few HOAs up in California. And she knows that we're very diligent in these meetings. I mean, they go line item by line item through every expense, and anything seriously that is mostly over budget, which would be fertilizers once in a while because we only buy them a couple times a year. They get detailed explanations from the golf superintendent and from Jesus Velarde, our engineer that's up there in front of you. And they watch the budget very, very closely. And our deal is, as long as the homeowners are participating here, which we really appreciate, because before and after pictures, I think, tell the whole story. One of the deals is that if we ever sold the golf course, that the homeowners, any net profit that would come out of it goes 50% back to the HOA. That's part of the contract. The other comment that I would make about the golf course is that, it was an expensive amenity to put together. The fact that we are spending the money to maintain it is important. If we ever went back and stopped doing the assessment, for those that do golf, the fees, it is the cheapest. I know a lot of guys don't golf, but it's the cheapest golf in all of Baja and all of California, to tell you the truth. It's $469 a year for, playing unlimited golf. But if the participation ever went away, the golf rates would go back to what they were originally, which was about $75 on the weekend and about $55 during the week.
All right. Martha had her hand up and then over here.
How did you do in this last sort of charity event? There was celebration of the lot. So did that significantly increase some funds to you by having that one in last month?
It's a charity golf course. Golf tournament, isn't it?
The charity tournament with the sponsorships and the player fees brought in about, about 10,000. Well, we gave away.
It's almost what other cases.
I use the charity golf tournament, and I've done it for years, to fund education for the kids downtown that can't afford to go to school. So far, we've put 100 kids to college and university. We've graduated the first, a kid that started school with us, a girl, became a full doctor. And she's in a hospital over in Ensenada. And
So it goes for a very good cause. The company makes absolutely zero off of it. I mean, actually, after all of our costs, then I contributed about $5,000 to make up the $10,000 check. So, you know, that's the only thing that we do it once a year. It's the funds are in the nonprofit we have, which is Universal Golf Foundation. It's a registered nonprofit with the state and the federal government, and it's got its tax ID. Well, we're a nonprofit, so we don't pay taxes, but it's fully registered. And its use of funds primarily is what I said. It's for education of kids that can't afford to go to school. These are kids that have good enough grades, but their parents don't make enough money to continue them with school. So at the age of 12 or 6th grade, they're done. They don't have to go to school any further by Mexican law. And if they want to continue education and if their parents can't afford it, they come to us and make an application. They write us a letter. They give us a report card. They have to give us every semester they finish a semester at school, they have to give us their report card, and we continue them on our program. So that's where the use of funds goes for the charity golf fund.
And there are about 20 to 25, volunteers that donate their time to help operate the tournament. Okay.
Okay.
I had a question about the slide that is currently being shown. Are the definitions or descriptions for category A and category B identical to what they were in previous years, or has there been an update?
I'm not sure on that one because I didn't put this slide. What? I believe they are the same, and I do know that with category B, we've checked the passes because they're the same color as a category A. The difference is if you have a category A pass, it has your lot number on it. If you have a category B, it has your name on it.
I'm sorry, so then my follow-up question is, if the description on the slide happens to be different than what was described in previous years, when we vote on this, we're going to be voting on the same description for previous years, not anything that may be different in this slide, correct?
I can't respond to that because I did not put the slides together. I do know